What's going on, Combat Sports Nation? This is Sean here with Cage Titans amateur lightweight champion Chris the Bearded Dragon O'Brien. Chris, it's exciting that we're here to this point, looking to improve where you are in such a short amount of time against another Massachusetts native. I believe you said it's going to be Eastern Mass versus Western Mass.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we're a couple weeks out. How you feeling, man?
Feeling awesome. Honestly, it feels like every camp, everything's gotten a little bit easier. The weight cut, just eating a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to drop, the excess weight. And then, the day-to-day practices, obviously sometimes 2 days, sometimes 3 days, if I can squeeze it in with work. It just feels like my body's adapting each time better and better. So this has definitely been the easiest so far, and I feel the most ready I've been.
Or leading up to this fight, you've gone to Vegas, you've trained at the Performance Institute, you now have some UFC caliber teammates, proven UFC caliber teammates there in the gym with you, grinding. You've grown up with those same guys. How are you feeling with those credentials coming into and those experiences coming into this fight?
Those guys have been that good, since I started fighting, since before I started fighting. So, everyone's seen it now. But, JoJo has been snatching necks for quite some time now, and we've all known that on the local scene, obviously. And Manny's obviously no different. So it's not like it just started becoming like a real plus for me in camp just because I started showing more people. Like, this is what it's been like since I started training. And these are the kind of guys I go with, and obviously not just them. Johnny's going to be fighting on this card, super high level, just one of the best paces that, I go with. I just learned so much from him. And then obviously Zach Sabatino, Danielle's fighting on this card. We had a couple of first-timers too. So it's a good vibe in the gym, but those guys obviously lead the charge. Joe in particular, for me, like we spar a lot, we work a lot together, and having those kind of caliber guys has just been valuable. And they definitely pushed me further than I have in the past. Like, they're always pushing me, but I think I'm finally grown as a martial artist, especially with that last trip out to the PI.
Yeah.
I've learned so much and tweaked things in my game that I feel like I'm more receptive to what they're pushing me into being a martial artist, more full martial artist. So I definitely feel the best I've felt going into a fight. Just going out to the PI, it was, obviously I broke my hand last fight and it was a little time off, because I had no other choice. But, kind of like healing from that, get my cast off, and I literally got cleared that week. I wasn't in bad shape, but I wasn't in fight shape. And, add that on to being just an amateur walking into that building and being able to train and learn from the guys that I did. It was like, man, it was really eye-opening. Like, I have a long way to go. So kind of like to like the levels to this sport, any sport, but, this sport in particular, it was crazy to see. Those guys, that trip opened my eyes and really pushed me. Definitely saw the levels to this. But, I feel like the me now would destroy the me in my first fight. So even though there's like levels to this, like outside, like, with the other guys and like the training that I've gotten, I see levels within myself now. As successful as my first fight was, that kid don't stand a chance against me now.
What was the mindset during the layoff?
It was my first broken bone ever. I definitely thought it was going to be a lot more painful than it was.
It's not.
Like, the next day I woke up, I thought I was going to be in excruciating pain. I was fine. I went to breakfast and then went to the ER to get x-rays. Like, I was fine. So as far as the pain, it was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then even after the surgery, recovery pain wasn't too bad. It was more uncomfortable than anything else. But, I had thoughts like, all right, this is definitely the worst injury I've had training or fighting or competing. And I'm not really in this for the long haul. I'm not, in it to be UFC champion or even at this point to go pro. So I was kind of thinking, in the layoff, like, do I fight again?
Are the injuries worth it?
What was that?
Or, I guess the question was, did you reflect and maybe say, are these injuries worth it? What more could I get injured? Or, injured?
Exactly. And that was definitely, on my mind. Do I keep risking, other kinds of injuries? And, I wasn't out of work for too long. I'm a dispatcher. I sit at a computer, answer a phone, and obviously there's a lot more into it than just that.
Yeah.
But, I can get away with having a broken hand and like have a half cast on and still do my job. But, it definitely kind of weighed heavy on me for a little bit, but it probably weighed heavy on me for a couple days because I think a week later, not even, it was probably like 4 days after surgery, I was in my basement shadowboxing.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So
you can't pull it out of you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's kind of like up in the air even at this point. I'm just taking it one fight at a time like I always have and seeing where it goes. But as far as, how I was working and stuff and getting back into shape, like I said, less than a week out from surgery, I'm in the basement shadowboxing. My friend's like, you're a psychopath. Like, can you take some time off and like not move your hand around? But like even then, like I was lifting like not any serious weight, but I was trying to lift a little bit even with the cast on. I just got so sick sitting at home.
Fuck yeah.
And then like I'd go into South Shore, I think a couple weeks after surgery, and just throw my left boxing glove on, work kicks on the bag, work every jab, left hook, everything I could. I even got to the point where I was like tapping the bag with my cast and just like kind of testing it. Like, there's people in the gym like, can you please not do that? But yeah, like you said, man, like you really can't pull it out of yourself. It's definitely always going to be a part of me in one capacity or another.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's kind of behind me now. And hopefully next time I throw an overhand, I'll actually turn it over properly. So.
That's great.
But it was all right. We're back from it now.
Matt Bienia, he's also a Massachusetts champion, other promotion. I mean, tough kid. We often say, this fight is your toughest fight, but legitimately, I mean, Sniger was a tough fight, but he wasn't a true 55er. You have a tough fight in front of you. How much do you think you're going to utilize that right hand?
I don't know. I think the best thing about this fight is, and you kind of just touched on it, this kid's super tough. Like, you can throw everything and the kitchen sink at him, and he keeps coming forward. And honestly, as a competitor, that was one of the things that intrigued me the most. This kid's got no problem standing up with you. This kid's got no problem taking it to the ground with you. And, as much as me and him joke around about, so like kind of like looking in the mirror, it kind of is. I have no problem going on the ground with him. He definitely doesn't. He's, I think, a purple belt. I'm a blue belt. We don't have any problem taking it to the ground, but I could see all 5 rounds us just slugging each other and seeing who drops first. So as far as that, yeah, he's my toughest fight to date. He was ranked number 1 in Massachusetts as far as I know, and I was number 2. So we're pretty close up there for top spots in New England too. So, I've gone on record before saying that's my goal. I want to be number 1 in New England and then take it from there. And it just made sense. I'm like, all right, well, maybe not New England this time, but, let's see who else is good in Massachusetts. And he's 1, I'm 2, let's do it. I have no problem where it goes. I have no preference. If I had to pick one, I technically don't think I've shot a takedown yet in my career. I hit the one takedown on Quentin because he kicked me straight in the mouth and I didn't know where it was. But I didn't really shoot. He kind of just jumped on me and I grabbed the leg. So, if I had to pick a preference, I got no problem in brawling it out for as long as he can stand my hand hitting his chin. But, that's just the brawler in me, I guess. I got no problem going on the ground. 3 submissions in my last 3 fights. You want to go there with me, go right ahead. But, Yeah, I guess I would have to prefer standing up, but that's not because I feel like I have an advantage over him or I lack something on the ground. It's just that's what people like to see, man. The second my back hit the cage that second round against Snyder, that place blew up. You know what I mean? That's what people want to see, and I got no problem giving it to him.
He's coming into your home, your backyard. How do you see this playing out?
I think his biggest strength is his cardio. From what I've seen from his fights, I don't try to delve too much into guys' tape because I'm expecting the best Matt Bienia that there has been to date. So I'm not going to go even off his last fight and say, oh, that's one fighting. He's been busting his ass, so have I. If you think I'm going to come out the same way I came out against Snyder, well, that's your mistake.
Yeah.
I'm a better fighter than I was in January. But seeing some of the tapes that I have on him, his cardio is phenomenal. But I think everyone that has doubted me, as far as cardio, their knock on me is, well, he hasn't been past the second round. Well, I haven't had to go past the second round. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny to say, like, oh, he has no cardio. No, it's just because I've been that good in these fights that it hasn't had to go past the second round. Like, that doesn't mean I don't have cardio. That just means I finish fights, man. Like, that's all that is. So, I mean, if he wants to push my cardio, go right ahead. But, I made it clear a couple nights ago when I met him that my goal is not to win. My goal is not to keep my belt. My goal is to finish him. My goal is to be the first person to finish Matt Bienia in the cage. That's my only goal in this fight. And then everything else follows it. I don't just want to squeak out a decision and keep my belt and be happy with that. No, I want to finish him and make it clear that I'm the number one guy in Massachusetts with this weight class. He's a tough kid. I'm not taking anything away from him. At this point, I only want tough fights, and he's the toughest, and that's why we made this happen. So I'm not taking anything away from his game or anything. He's the number one guy to face me right now. But I just don't see him being able to last in there with me. I think the second he makes a mistake, like all my other fights, I'm making him pay, and it's over. I see my hand raised. I don't know a round. I've gone on record with between the rounds and said maybe a second round submission. But really, it's up to him. Whenever he makes that mistake, it's going to be over. It could be 10 seconds into the first round. It could be the last 10 seconds of the fifth round. But it's up to him. So I know he's bringing his A game, and I know I'm bringing mine. So we'll see who comes out on top.
Do you think you have the ability to make the turning point when you want, or do you think the turning point is going to be when one of you guys make a mistake?
Yeah, no, I see it. I see it being very evenly matched, and I think it's when someone makes a mistake. So I can see it going all 5 rounds if we play a flawless game. I have the ability to impose my will too. A lot of times in fights, I kind of sit back and let them do what they're going to do, and just wait for that opportunity. I don't know. We're like I said, I'm not going to give too much of the game plan away, but Bill's the mastermind, man. We'll sit down in the gym and hammer out a couple more details, but I obviously have the power to do whatever right now. I don't care who I'm fighting.
Take a minute, throw some shout outs to some fans. Remind them what they can expect coming up August 18th when you go up to defend your title for the very first time.
Can I just start this out with saying I never thought I'd be here and hearing that? How do you feel about defending your title? It's still crazy, man. Even if it's just the amateur level, that's pretty cool that I'm even here talking to you about this happening. So I'm truly grateful for that, and it's kind of cool to look back on how much work has gone into this. But as far as the fight itself, man, if you saw my fight against Snyder, fight of the year candidate. This is going to be no different. I plan on coming out and absolutely going to war with Matt. And I know he does too. He's a good kid. I just met him, and he's got no problem with throwing down and making this one of the most entertaining fights you've ever seen, let alone for the year. So that's what we're planning on, and we definitely have the credentials to back it up. 9-1 combined record between the two of us, and all 9 wins are finishes. He's coming to represent Western Mass. I'm out here representing Eastern Mass, and it literally is the battle for the state. So there's a ton of reasons for you to come and see this fight. Just don't miss it, man, because I feel like this is gonna be an epic one.
Chris, the bearded dragon O'Brien, August 18th, Cage Titans 40, defends his Cage Titans lightweight amateur title against Matt Bienia. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Combat Sports Nation appreciates you. Have a great night.
Thanks, John. You too.
Follow us on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. Visit us on Twitter. And stay tuned.